What's up, punks, trenchies, and death clowns? The following is part of an 8-episode series examining the trans allegory of Lisa Frankenstein. Be sure you've watched the movie first. I will not be held responsible for you being spoiled otherwise. Okay, let's go! Welcome to Tilly's Trans Tuesdays. Tilly Vision can't be stopped as we dive into the unintentionally intentional trans allegory of Lisa Frankenstein Part 3. This week we see what loved ones not being accepting can do to us and see if a little trans energy can wake us up. Hi, I'm Tilly Bridges, your host, and I'm joined by my writing partner, my best friend, my wife, our token cis representation, the lady I'm always delighted to wake up next to, Susan Bridges.
Hello.
Our returning guest is the reliable Kent Eigengrau. Welcome back, Kent.
Hi there.
Okay, so what has been the most surprising thing about transition for you?
I would say that I'm surprised with how nowadays, despite the sort of pervasive feeling of creeping dread and
Yeah.
it's really scary out there, it feels like it's a lot less progressive than it is. But I think I've been surprised with how a lot more people in my life were immediately accepting. I've been very, very fortunate and very, very lucky to find myself surrounded by just a bunch of wonderful friends who have become like a second family to me.
Yeah.
Of course, there's always people in your life that are going to have a hard time with things, but
Sadly.
I feel like I was surprised with the amount of acceptance I've found in the world, despite times being as dark as they are, and a lot of times trans men being kind of an anomaly, a mystery to most folks. A lot of people will know of trans women, they'll be able to
Yeah.
name trans women in media, but outside of like Elliot Page, there's not really a lot of quote unquote notable trans men to a lot of the cis folk out there. So it's nice to see that there's a lot more acceptance out there than you think that there will be. I guarantee it.
Yeah. I think society very much wants us to feel like we won't be loved and accepted if we transition, right? That's like the part of the lie it peddles is that you'll be a freak and no one will love you. And they do that to try to keep us from transitioning, but
Yeah.
more people will love you for who you really are than you ever imagined was possible.
Yeah,
It's,
you will find your people. Like
yeah,
if you're true to yourself and you're going out there and you're living your life, so long as you're not staying isolated, like you will find your people. And if all else fails, like find a D&D group, you'll be fine. Like Dungeons and Dragons is a great way of teaching your friends your pronouns before you come out to them.
sure
That's how I
is.
hacked it. So
Yeah.
all of my male friends that I was playing D&D with, I was playing a bunch of male characters. And for a while they were like, "Wow, you certainly play a lot of dudes." I'm like, "Yeah."
I was always playing the girls in mine.
Funny.
So, yep,
Yeah,
yep,
yep.
yep.
It was easier for them to get my pronouns right because they had been doing it secretly for years, and they're like, "Oh, this makes sense now."
Yeah. Okay, so for you, like, was D&D part of what sort of like helped you find yourself? Like, because like for me, that was very much what happened. Like, I was always forced to play the quote unquote girl in our parties because no one else wanted to do it. You had to have one to seduce
Hmm.
all the guys that the other dudes wouldn't, even though I don't like guys. That was miserable. But I was happy to play the girls always.
Oh, well, that's what the bard's for nowadays.
Yeah, but it gave me so many feelings that meant so much to me that I
Mhm.
didn't even understand, but it was like my first real clue into,
Mm.
my transness, I think.
I would say that D&D, I use D&D to sort of explore, like I'd say it's a very cheap way of doing therapy. Don't entirely make it your way of doing therapy, but like as a writer and a creative, I feel like artists just naturally are inclined to put themselves into their writing to work stuff out
Yeah,
because frustration breeds creativity a lot of times for a lot of people. But I think that I found my transness to be the thing that was up with me because I'd always known there was something off since I was 5. I think my
yeah,
first dysphoria like spike that was memorable was when I was 5 years old. But I'd say that media in my life has kind of led me to find what kind of man I wanted to become.
sure.
I think that D&D definitely helped me with like troubleshooting some of that and trying to find that. It definitely helped my friends get used to the idea of referring to me as a man. I'd say probably movies was what helped me kind of solidify it in my brain. Raiders of
I
the
love
Lost
that.
Ark is a movie that I credit with saving my life. Not just
Really?
because it inspired me to become a filmmaker, to become somebody that's a storyteller, but that scene when he returns back to the classroom and you see that he's been living a double life this whole time,
Yeah.
it arrived to me at a time and it just struck me that like, oh, he's not just this masculine like 80s action hero stereotype. Like he's intelligent, he's feeling, he's thinking, he actually cares about his job. It's so rare to find a guy in
Yeah.
film that actually cares about what he's doing. But I just looked on this bespectacled bow-tied wearing like dork trying to like cover up the fact that his like other persona is going out and beating up Nazis and going through traps and things. And I'm like, okay, that hit me at the right time. I needed that at that time. I took the wrong lessons from it of, well, maybe I can be me in secret, but I think
Sure.
at the time that was what I needed to give myself permission to explore my gender
Yeah.
a bit more in private. And that sort of eventually was me graduating into, no, this is who I want to be. I want to be a man. I want to see myself as somebody like Indiana Jones or
Yeah.
like other heroes that I looked up to in film and TV. Doctor Who, another one. So
Yeah, this is a delicious old-timey suit game.
Well, I was just going to say
yeah,
that now that
that
you
look,
mention that, now that
hats
you
are a
mention
thing.
that, Indy in his professor suit with the bow tie and the glasses also kind of a little trans mask
Hmm.
coded. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Yes, very much
Looks
so.
transness, wasn't
Another
it?
instance of do I want to be him or be with him? That boat
yeah.
scene with him and Mary, and I'm like, I would not mind being either of this, but mostly him. So,
I was always drawn to the secret identity thing too. Like that, I was one of the
hmm.
things I always glommed onto with Superman and why I love him so much. And
Yep,
here's
yep.
this person everyone thinks is a man, but he's really this other weird alien that no one knows anything about that he has to hide from the
Yeah,
world. And it was like you were the one who clued me into why I was so into him for so long. And
yeah,
so yeah,
superheroes are big
yeah.
in the trans mask community. We've got a huge obsession with Spider-Man, and Danny Phantom is another one I see come up a lot as far as trans men like being like, no, that character is a trans man.
Claim him, go for
Oh
it.
yeah, that's we've claimed him, we've claimed Timmy Turner from Fairly Odd Parents quite frequently. I see Spider-Man's very easily. A lot of people think I'm named after Superman. I'm named after a different superhero,
Okay,
The Shadow, Orson
okay,
Welles' old radio
yeah.
shows, that stuff. Yeah, so an invisible man whose power comes from his voice and changing people's perceptions. Yeah, who could guess why that would be appealing to me?
Do you know
someone
what
who
evil
lived in the
lurks in the
20s.
hearts of men?
The shadow knows.
All right. Well, you'll want to listen to the first two parts of this deep dive before proceeding in episodes 134 and 135, because that just makes good sense. All right, let's go. 9 minutes, 21 seconds. We flash back to Lisa and her mom playing a board game and look at the board and the pieces. They are blue and pink, red and yellow, transness with fear and danger. Lisa's got pink flowers on her shirt and a pink band in her hair, all gender conformity. What do you think that all means? Taffy, quote, like 2 years ago, Lisa was home alone with her mom and this psycho broke in. A man with an axe enters the house. He's carrying an axe and wearing a Bride of Frankenstein mask.
Yes, yes,
no, really,
yes.
In the screenshots I posted in the text version of these episodes at
Tilly'sTransTuesdays.com.
I lightened it up so you can see the mask better. And there is so much going on here because you've already seen the movie, right? Right? What is Frank? A man. What does Frank kill people / reject the idea of being those people with? An axe. And if a man and a woman pair are this movie's symbol of a trans person accepting themselves, and they are, as established in the opening credit animation, who is the bride of Frank? Lisa. This is Lisa breaking into the happy home to tell her mom that she is a trans man. Now listen, the mask alone makes me want to remove the unintentional part of calling this an unintentionally intentional trans allegory. Because why else would you put a Bride of Frankenstein mask on this guy who has an axe? I'm just saying.
I think that this convinced me. I'm sold on I'm sold. Before I was just like, oh well, clearly Frank is a trans man and he's just got himself a nice like happy love story going on here. That's how I interpreted it, as like, yay, trans people can find love. It's nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
we all
can,
just
and
want a cool goth girlfriend. Like, but no, this is the Bride of Frankenstein mask that wow, yeah, that's there. That's
wait, just
undeniably there.
and it comes back. We will get there. So Lisa's mom freaks out, sure that she's defending her child in doing so because transness is bad and evil. And what does Lisa do? 9 minutes, 37 seconds. She runs to hide in the closet.
Oh my
This is
God.
a metaphor for Lisa previously feeling safe and comfortable with her mom and telling her she was a trans guy, and it basically killing her mother or making her mother feel dead to her or made her mother treat her like Lisa was dead, etc., and sending her back into the metaphoric closet, quote unquote, killing the man she truly is.
All right, I'm convinced.
This is why Lisa left her mother's rosary full of her mother's fear, despair, and anger at Frank's grave. Those are what caused her to bury her true self. 9 minutes, 42 seconds. Now another person is sitting next to Lori and hearing the story. The rumors of Lisa's transness spread. 9 minutes, 51 seconds. The guy escaped and, quote, by the time Lisa came out, it was too late. Lisa came out, but her mother couldn't accept it and the guy disappeared. I told you. 9 minutes, 59 seconds. Yet another girl is now next to Lori listening. Rumors spread fast. Lori, quote, I'd be screwed up if I were her too. Can you imagine thinking you're really a man? Can you imagine being a weird tranny? That's so effed up. Those girls can go to hell. 10 minutes, 7 seconds. After that, Lisa, quote, kind of just wandered around like a zombie. Suppressing yourself makes you feel dead inside. In a lot of these essays and episodes, I've described it as a waking death, like a zombie. 10 minutes, 28 seconds. Yet another girl is listening to the story. Taffy explains how Lisa's dad met Taffy's mom 6 months later and got married, and Lisa, quote, had a new mom right away. You can't not have femininity in your life, Lisa. You need to conform and be a good girl. 10 minutes, 52 seconds. Tamara asks if Lisa wants a sip from her green-blue cup. Michael says he does, and Tamara says, why would I assume Lisa parties? Look at that weirdo who's not femme like me. I've heard the trans rumors. Why should I think she'd conform to the cool thing teens are supposed to do? 11 minutes and 2 seconds. Pressured, not wanting to be further ostracized and othered, Lisa drinks from the dysphoria cup. She coughs and gags while Tamara laughs. Michael takes a sip and spits it out, and the liquid is the same color as the cup. Michael, what is this? Tamara, I'm not really sure. Michael got a taste of dysphoria, maybe from seeing Lisa's reaction to it, and found it gross, maybe even drugged. Tamara can't even identify it. Cis people have no idea what dysphoria even is and cannot imagine anyone having it.
It's a bit like the blue stuff and I saw the TV glow, kind of
Yes,
similar, like
yes.
gross
Oh,
stuff.
oh, I'm so bad I didn't make that illusion. I did a whole write-up on the TV glow. Oh my God, that's brilliant. Yes.
I was going to say that I really like the thing about, like, she literally offers it to Lisa.
Yeah.
And then, what is it? I don't know. Like, because there's, like, so many gender-specific things that we do. We don't even know why we do them. We just do them.
Right.
Like, it's just the thing you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
Because that's
And I'm
what
not
girls
gonna-
do.
I
or
don't have
what's
to think
what boys
about it.
do.
And I'm not
Right.
going to even take a second to be like, why do we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when you inherently do the opposite, everybody kind of looks at you funny, like, why is that the instinct you go with? Why is that the mannerism you have? It's like, I've been caught so many times before coming out of like the whole thing about looking at your nails, which direction do you have your hand flipped? So like
Mm.
I've been told, again, this is something so silly that's like it definitely is like an imagined thing that I feel like it's just cultural at this point, but I don't know. Apparently, there's this whole thing about if you look at your hand and you're checking your nails, if you have your hand to the back and you're looking at your flat hand to check your nails, that's more feminine. And then the more masculine way is curling it with your wrists like closed and
Yeah.
looking at it like palm facing you. And so I used to do palm facing me with my fingers curled in to check my nails, and everybody like, isn't that the boy way of doing that? I'm like, it is? What? Isn't
Why are
that
there
just what
1,000
everybody does?
unwritten rules that we
I,
all seem to have
Well,
memorized?
it's also
I hate it.
it's the way that you walk, it's the way that you sit, it's
yeah,
the way you
yep.
move your hands when you talk, and these things are all gender coded in our society for some reason, and we don't even know that we do these things so much. Like one of the things that I consciously tried to do after I transitioned was to change the way that I walk just so people would read me more as a woman and I'd stop getting misgendered. But I had to consciously think about how I was walking, where I was putting my feet. It's like not a
Yeah,
thing
the
that just
feet out
naturally
versus the
happened.
feet
Yeah,
facing
it's
in thing. Yeah,
and to move your
I
hips
did
rather than
that
not.
too.
And it's, yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
like walking with your shoulders versus walking like the center of gravity. Yeah,
yeah,
there's that's a tip that gets passed around for guys that want to pass, which like you can take value from that if you feel like you need it, but it's
yeah,
not necessary. It shouldn't be
exactly.
necessary.
None of this should be necessary.
Like there's so many unwritten little things, like the guy nod of like down is respect and up is like, hey, how's it
I
going?
had to
Like,
unlearn the nod because every time I was like out on a run and someone would go past me and I would do the nod and they would look at me all weird because I
what? Why are you
had
doing that?
boobs and women don't nod like that. That was a dude thing. So I had to stop doing the greeting nod and now I have to
Yeah.
wave at people or whatever instead. And it's, yeah. Oh, our
Yeah,
society is so
yeah.
weird.
It's very strange, very odd. Some of it
Yeah.
you unlearn, some of it you like have to learn.
Yeah.
And there's so many weird little things that they seem entirely unnecessary. Like
Yeah.
they're just little tells.
I get around this being, as I'm out in the neighborhood playing Pokemon Go a lot, by only greeting dogs. Speak directly to the dog.
This is good. This is
And
the way.
then if the owner says something, you know.
Sure.
But usually I wish the dog a good morning.
Well,
This is good.
priorities. 11 minutes, 28 seconds. Taffy runs to check on Lisa. Lisa's vision is blurry, her hearing distorted. Taffy asks if they gave her something, and Lisa nods. Yes, dysphoria. Taffy is upset with Lisa.
More gendered
Mhm.
expectations, by the way.
Quote, this isn't what I expected from you. You have so much potential. Lisa's face is awash in yellow, even though she's nowhere near the firelight. How could you feel all dysphoric because of what other people did to you? This is your fault for being trans and not the fault of the world that treats you like shit because you're trans. Sad tale as old as time.
This is a party. Why aren't you having fun?
Exactly.
Yeah.
11 minutes, 52 seconds. One of the kids, dressed in clothes with pink and that dysphoria green, plays a ukulele and sings part of the chorus of I Can See Clearly Now by Johnny Nash. The song's pretty well known, but again, look at the full lyrics. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. I think I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here's the rainbow I've been praying for. It's going to be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Sure sounds like coming out of a dysphoria funk to accept the truth, doesn't it? Guess what's about to happen for Lisa? 12 minutes. Lisa stumbles into a girl who says she's psychic and she thinks it's going to rain. Lisa looks up at the storm clouds and all that dysphoria green blue that does not naturally occur in the sky. 12 minutes, 7 seconds. Outside and inside this house, the lights are all fear. The dysphoria fairy lights border the room. 12 minutes, 25 seconds. A dude comes to check on Lisa, asks if she's okay. She touches and squeezes his face. This. How do I become this? She asks who he is, and he says he's Doug, and I freaking hate Doug. Doug comes from Douglas, which means no shit, dark river. More darkness in the water, dysphoria, dysphoria, dysphoria. He's her lab partner, and he is in red, yellow, green, blue, and blue shirt. All the bad things wrapped up into one. I freaking hate Doug. He says he'll find somewhere for her to sit, and she takes his hand. He leads her past yellow light streaming down on a boy and a girl making out on the couch. Lisa looks at them with wide eyes. Doug says he'd rather watch movies. What kind of movies, Doug? There's nothing wrong, mind you, with adult entertainment, as long as it's consensual and everyone's treated fairly and not exploited, but bringing it up when talking to someone who's not your partner is a weird and bad thing to do. 13 minutes, 4 seconds. Doug leads her down a hallway with yellow lights and yellow wallpaper, still pretending he wants to talk about movies. He asks her favorite director, and she says Pabst. Doug thinks she just read his beer can and asks what kind of movies he made, and Lisa says Silence, which Doug takes as Silence, and it is a great joke. But
so
also, Lisa is right and knows more about movies than slimy skis-ball Doug. I freaking hate Doug. G.W. Pabst was a director of silent films. There's a link about him in the show notes. Anyway, remember Pabst for next week's installment. 13 minutes, 21 seconds. Lisa looks at a painting on the wall that seems to be moving, of a ship with large bells fore and aft.
The painting.
Yeah, sailing turbulent blue seas, red and yellow sea monsters lurking under a green-blue dysphoria sky. Now, this is a real piece of art, as in it was not created specifically for this movie, but it's actually an engraving that exists only in black and white, meaning the color was added just for this film. So think about why they'd make certain things those colors and what's that telling you. There's a link about the engraving in the show notes. Now, there's text on the bottom that is in Latin, and I'm going to try to read it, and I'm going to butcher
it. It. Just don't.
You think I'll summon a demon?
Don't do it.
Yes, do it. It's Halloween.
No.
I've been encouraged. I'm going to do it.
Oh.
Navata, erythrium, pavidis, qui navigat aquior. In prore et pupis uman resonantia pendet tintanabula, io sonuto pregrandia sit balenes et monstra marina a navibus arset.
I have secondhand embarrassment for you.
Okay, so via Google Translate, that reads, the sailor who sails the Erythraean waters, afraid of the wind, on the prow and stern hangs the echoing bells. With that sound he keeps away the enormous whales and sea monsters from the ships. Now, I've asked a few people who know some Latin to translate it for me as well, because translation is an art and humans can much better discern intent and meaning, and they came up with these. Credit to my friend A.B. A sailor sailed the fearful Erythraeum/Red Sea. In the bow and highest stern hangs a small bell/wind chime ringing. I go to make a noise to ward off colossal dolphins, whales, and monsters of the sea from the ships. And credit to my friend and media reporter Mo Ryan, who's appeared on 6 episodes of this podcast for this translation. From the bow and stern, the frightened Erythraean sailor navigating the sea hangs the loudest of bells. With that sound, he drives from the ships the enormous whales and sea monsters. Now, navate means sailor. That much is clear. So this could be about an Erythraean sailor or a sailor on the Erythraean seas. But get this. The Red Sea appears red due to a bacteria in the water, Trichodesmium erythraeum. And erythraeum is derived from the Greek erythrai, or the related Latin term erythraeus, which means red. So maybe what we have is a red sailor. If the sailor, a man, Navate is gendered male, I think, is red, they are wearing red, meaning they have love for themselves. So what you would have is a self-actualized Lisa as Frank sailing through despair with fear and anger all around, dysphoria looming overhead, and only the bells, a loud proclamation of her existence, can keep those things at bay.
Or music.
You gotta transition, man. It will help you. Look at what's staring you in the face, Lisa. Also, I was sure that the Latin on this was something that they added for the film, but it is part of the original, and damn, that piece of art was a find. 13 minutes, 23 seconds. The room Doug's leading her toward is red inside, blue light on the door. Lisa barfs into the trash as he holds her hair and says it feels like Easter grass. And what color is that usually? A greeny blue, maybe? Yeah. Doug reacts to the smell. Sure, it smells bad, but maybe there's more to it. I wonder if smells ever come up in this movie again. 13 minutes, 38 seconds. Doug calls her kiddo, infantilizing her. Now, not only is she 18 and an adult, we learn later that she's older than he is. But because he is a cis white man, society tells him he has authority over everyone. Kiddo is a recurring theme in this movie. Watch for it. 13 minutes, 50 seconds. The lights in the room are yellow, but the light on Lisa's face is blue. As she tries to steady herself, Doug sits next to her on the bed. 14 minutes, thunder and lightning outside the window behind them. The light, that green-blue color that lightning actually isn't. This color is very intentional, is what I'm saying. 14 minutes, 11 seconds. Doug says the thunder is the angels bowling, and Lisa says her mom used to say that. Doug is reminding her of her mom, which means this guy who offered to help is not going to be actual help, and so here comes the turn. 14 minutes, 21 seconds. Doug has his hand on one of her breasts and asks if that feels good, takes her other hand and puts it right on his crotch. Come on, you can't stop once you've started. It's the rules. Never mind that he instigated this and didn't ask if it was okay, and she's done nothing to make him think it was okay, and in fact is in an altered, invulnerable state. Since he started it, the rules are she owes him sex. Doug is even more toxic than the jocks were, and I freaking hate Doug.
I want to shove Doug in a locker.
And lock it forever. 14 minutes, 26 seconds. Lisa's horrified. There's blue light on her face and suddenly red light outside the window for no reason whatsoever. But she is in danger, isn't she? And there's your reason. 14 minutes, 30 seconds. A haunting cover of I Can See Clearly Now plays as Lisa's mind reels. She doesn't want to be a bro jock. She doesn't want to assault women. Why can't she just be a guy like Michael? Michael is also shit, but we'll get there eventually. Lisa gets off the bed and says no as Doug pleads with her. There's more red outside the window, but also blue, the yellow lamp, the very green wallpaper with hints of yellow. This is a torture chamber for Lisa. Doug, you know it's not nice to lead people on, Lisa. You're supposed to let me sexually assault you. I'm a man. And if
Doug.
you were a man, this is the kind of thing you'd do too. It's what society says we do. 14 minutes, 50 seconds. Lisa stumbles through the hallway and into more danger, and look at that bright red angel behind her, a reminder of the dangers of coming out and how it means death, change, and possibly losing those you love. 14 minutes, 57 seconds. She stumbles through the dark, only the now blue light from the lamp surrounding her. 15 minutes, 5 seconds. Look at the way the footage here gets choppy. It's like it's sped up to be unnatural. It seems like there's frames missing. Everything is surreal and inscrutable. Lisa looks up, her face awash in pink and blue, awash in her own transness as the green-blue dysphoria lightning strikes through the clouds. 15 minutes, 16 seconds. She's in the forest heading toward Bachelor's Grove. As she walks beneath the gate and turns around to look at it, the sides of her face that are pink and blue switch. They flip opposite of how they seemed before, multiple times. They change. They transition.
I didn't notice that. That's a good find. I also
Thank
just want
you.
to stop and that set work of the loose, dreamlike transition between the house set and her walking to the cemetery is very well done. It's probably one of the coolest sequences in the film, I would say, outside of the dream sequence later. But it's like there's like no walls between her stumbling out of the house and ending up in the graveyard. It just sort of seamlessly blends. Like the middle portion, there's like lamps popping up next to trees, next to like couches, and the lighting is like really weird and very Giallo in that way of like lots of clashing colors. Yeah, that's some amazing set work. Like that was a great sequence, but also like it's a loose, strange, bizarre transition from one like domestic setting to a more wild, free, like but scary
Yeah.
like endpoint. So that's
And what a
that's very
metaphor that
interesting.
is.
Yeah.
15 minutes, 29 seconds. Lisa, it's you. She's talking to Frank. Look at the lighting on the statue, still holding her mother's rosary. He's been chained by her mother's transphobia where she left him. She touches the statue's face. I wish I was with you. Super text. There's a bright flash of white, and then 15 minutes, 55 seconds. Lisa stumbles into her house, but it's all blue. There's a mirror on the wall by the door. As she enters and steps forward, the reflection fractures around the mirror's border. More continued problems with mirrors for her, but also foreshadowing what's to come shortly. 16 minutes, 7 seconds. In the bathroom, all these girly things are now all blue. Despair, she sees her reflection clearly in the bathroom mirror. 16 minutes, 9 seconds. We flash between Lisa and Frank's statue. Pinks and blues all over Frank. We flash back and forth until there's another electric zap. Remember Lisa in the tanning bed? 16 minutes, 10 seconds. Lightning strikes, but it's not that unique blue-green dysphoria. It is blue and white, and there is pink in it too. It is pink, white, and blue. Have you ever seen lightning like that? That was a choice made by the filmmakers. Lisa screams and smashes the mirror. Why is my reflection so wrong? Super text. I talked about the difficulty of reflections for us trans folks in episode 91 of this podcast.
Yeah, the mirrors is always in every trans film. It's
Yep.
everywhere. It was in The Matrix very
Yep.
heavily. Like, yeah, I feel like every trans person has like a story about their mirror and dealing with the mirror as like an entity in their home and in the
Yeah.
wild.
And
I would
the horror of
actually,
them.
yeah, I
Yeah.
my dysphoria kind of presented itself as dissociative symptoms.
Yeah,
So a
me
lot of
too.
times the sort of typical horror movie, you close the medicine cabinet and there's a different reflection or there's somebody behind you in the mirror. That was my life, but I was jumping at my own reflection because I could not recognize myself in
Yeah.
pictures, in
Same.
mirrors. I just could not connect. Like I knew it was me. I could brush my hair. I could like deal with my face. I could touch my face and know it was me, but the visuals never made sense to me. And that
Yeah.
started fixing as I started medically transitioning. But
Yeah. The first time the reflection gets even the tiniest bit better, it is the most mind-blowing
it
thing. I
yeah,
don't even
it
know how to
really
describe
is.
it. It's,
You start to find yourself. It's like, oh,
yeah.
that makes sense now. There's that little bit of sense, and that starts to like develop more and more, and the recognition starts
Yeah.
to sink in more. But yeah, I used to be really bad where I would, if I caught myself in the reflection of like a shop window walking down the
Yeah.
street, I would flinch thinking that there was a person there, but it was just my reflect. I would literally jump at my own shadow. Like it
Yeah.
was bad.
Well, 16 minutes, 11 seconds. The instant the mirror shatters, the shot switches to the statue of Frank, specifically his face. And then the light radiates out from behind him in the same circular pattern the mirror glass fractured in. This is the face she wishes she saw in the mirror. 16 minutes, 15 seconds. We cut back to Lisa looking in the mirror, her face entirely fractured. 16 minutes, 20 seconds. That green-blue dysphoria fills the sky as groaning is heard from the cemetery at Bachelor's Grove. Signs of life of someone long thought dead from within her heart. 16 minutes, 22 seconds. This is the first time we're in Lisa's bedroom, which remember represents her subconscious. There's lots more to talk about, but we'll get there when we can see more of it. Lisa wraps herself in blankets. They're all blue, the light from the window forming bars across her bed. She is jailed and boxed in by trying to be the woman society says she is. Her eyes have blue eyeshadow. Her lips are extra pink. White light flashes across her face. Transness, babe.
It's a bit of an homage to Twin Peaks as well
Oh,
with
is it? I've never
yeah, with
seen
Laura
that.
Palmer being wrapped up in the like they find her body and she's like wrapped up in a very similar way in like a sheet of plastic and her face has these like almost like it's bluish, like streaks and coloration to it. Like they really overdo like the gothic beauty of this dead body that they find in Twin Peaks. And
Yeah.
she's got like these almost diamond-like bits of sand all over her face. Like they really beautify what is supposed to be like a horrific discovery.
Yeah.
Like David Lynch is a master of symbolism and making poetry out of film. But I feel like with the next shot of what we're getting to with Lisa here, of like going
Yeah.
from that blue to having those like diamonds on her face, that's very clearly going back to Lynch with Twin Peaks.
Fascinating. We should probably watch Twin Peaks. Yes.
Oh, it's a lot, but it's so good. It's so good.
Well, from Lisa's makeup, we can tell she's been crying and her mascara runs down beneath her eyes. And that mascara is black. It is the first bit of black we've seen her in so far. And remember that in this film, black equals death and death equals change and change equals transition. She has begun the journey. Why is Lisa all wrapped up in her blankets here? It's foreshadowing of where this journey of change will take her, and we will refer back to this later. Thanks for being here, Kent.
Absolutely.
Folks, you want to get to later, right? Yeah, you do. So come back next week as Lisa dreams of a better future and we see if her stepmom follows the same path Lisa's mom did. Tilly Bridges, end transmission. Tilly's Trans Tuesdays is hosted by Tilly Bridges and Susan Bridges, with audio editing and sound mixing by Jillian Morgan. The written essay version of this week's topic and all past topics is available at tilliestranstuesdays.com. Special thanks to Daisy and Jane for the use of Sorry Not Sorry as our show's theme music. Please stop by and show your support at daisyandjane.bandcamp.com and soundcloud.com/daisyandjane. You can find me at Tilly Bridges on Blue Sky and on Mastodon at tillybridges at mastodon.social, and you can find Susan on those at Susan L. Bridges. You can find Jillian at Audio Jillian on Blue Sky. You can join the Tillyverse Discord server by following the link at the very bottom of TillysTransTuesdays.com. We hold regular watch parties for the Matrix films and other trans movies where I do a live Q&A, and it's blossomed into a wonderfully supportive, compassionate, kind community of friends. We'd love to have you join us. If you'd like to keep up with all the writing that Susan and I do, you can sign up for our newsletter at birdguestbroadcast.com. If you enjoy this show, please take a moment to leave us a rating on Apple Podcasts. The largest segment of our listeners find the show there, and more reviews equals a higher profile, which means it will reach more of the people who need it. Thank you for your support. For more information, visit pendantaudio.com. Thanks for listening. An erythrium is derived from the Greek erythria. Whoa.